My Inventure started as an idea to help students find personalized learning pathways for themselves, especially those students who are interested in doing a lot more than just being in the classroom.
It's a transition of sorts. So how do you then give them the opportunity to work through that transition from still being a child to moving into being into the adult world? So this whole 1 week, our focus is that what are the few skill sets that they should start becoming aware of as they navigate the grown-up world.
My Inventure program is all about championing every single child to prepare them for the breadth of opportunity that lies ahead of school, outside of school.
3 elements which I'm looking at. So there's connect, where we connect with the students, get to know where they are currently, where they are heading. It can also be bridging the gap between parents and students because to put forward the students' perspective. The third element is support because we support them to make the right decisions.
Every single child is provided with a mentor who helps them not just to find what their strengths are, but also to find the next steps and guide them how to use those strengths and find out a career path for them.
These students are going to go ahead in life and touch different people's lives, and if they can take a little bit of inspiration from their mentors, I think it's going to go a long way.
I really prefer working in teams. I'm a major team player. I play for the school football team as well, and it's always great to have external inputs because you never know where a great idea is going to come from, and it's always amazing to have people around you, people that are going to help uplift you and upbring you.
Me hack is actually a derivative of the word a hack for myself, and which is exactly what we want to give to these students through these workshops. And what these workshops are, these really bite-sized sessions on some, helping students get some framework and tools to handle some day-to-day challenges they face as they go through classes and all the work that comes on their plate.
We get to learn about ourselves as well, things that we wouldn't pick up in a classroom, and things that are really practical to academic life and even outside academic life in our personal lives. Things like time management, working with our own strengths, and how that can help us collaborate, how that can help us be more innovative. It's been a great experience with that.
We've done 7 MeHack workshops on prioritization, on distraction, on procrastination, on working with peers, working with strengths. So these are a range of workshops that we've done.
This is my 12th year at Inventure, and obviously knowing the school very well and being a part of its culture, I think something it's inculcated into me would be a sense of balance.
In this day and age especially, some of the careers or jobs that are there are going to be wiped out in 5 years' time. We're at a very interesting time in the job market and the history of the world basically. So it's very important for them to focus on capability building.
Yeah, it's been a very fun experience so far. It's my first year at Inventure. This school really cares about their students and everything that they do, not just academics as well as extracurriculars, and it's a very welcoming environment.
It's a little intimidating and it's honestly really overwhelming because we're expected to do a lot, but I think the way Inventures introduced everything and the fact that they're giving a lot of opportunities to students in the school itself is extremely helpful.
I have really figured out that I'm not alone, and then a lot of people feel the same way that I do, and they act the same way that I do, so I'm not the only one, which is really nice after moving from the US.
Nowadays there are so many opportunities, so many well-paying and fulfilling opportunities that you should not be thinking of career as one thing that you just stick to, even one industry, one domain. It's a work path. So what are the work paths that I'm going to get on, and how am I going to steer my work path as I go? So that's the model of career basically that we're trying to give them clarity on.
We're doing a trust activity right now where you have to pick up someone and put them through a web. It's a really good trust building exercise, and I'm really just putting my faith in them. And I think it's been a really fun teamwork and bonding experience that I wouldn't get to do in a classroom.
The conversation around building this was around what are the 3-4 things as outcomes we'd like. One was, to a large extent, when you see obstacles, how do you work through it? Even though the work is all group, the focus is very individual. So even the reflections that they do after this activity, I don't say, did you guys win? Did you guys lose? How did it, it was more about how did you approach the activity? What did you do to break down your own fears, defenses, your own ways of navigating through the activity, and what did the activity tell you about yourself?
Critical learning for me was to be able to separate what's really critical, what's important, and what's nice to have.
Definitely this year will be much more serious, right? And you have to be focused. So yeah, that's a little bit overwhelming, but all these sessions during Inventuring have really helped me simplify it, make it seem not as big a task. It's sort of relaxed me.
Ultimately, you have to enter the equation as a learner yourself. That's when children also see you as a credible authority of sorts, to listen to. Otherwise, why should they listen to? Unless you go back to your experiences and say, this is something that I was struggling with. This is something that helped me. See if it works for you.
My one message to students is to just take risks without the fear of failing, without the fear of not knowing what they're entering. Taking that first plunge is so important, and it can change your entire life.
I see this as one of the schools that actually allows for a lot of experimentation, allows for a lot of creativity. They're not afraid to try. And I think that is a really good message for kids going out into the world today, that not everything you're going to do is going to work. Not everything you're going to do is something you like, but imagine having the opportunity to try everything. So I think they're really excelling in that space.